So, it is April 18th, and I am making this for to update on my insurance situation once again. I'm sorry if I look a little frazzled, if I seem a little frazzled, it's because I am. So, no Star Wars shirt today. Today's Bioshock kind of day, I feel like, because I feel less like flying around out in space and more like just straight up ripping people to shreds, or like launching bees at them. So thank you, Strider. So I just got off of no. So first I called the Medi-Cal line to check on the status of my insurance, if I was still because I've been approved for Medi-Cal, again. And okay, you want to go? I've been approved for Medi-Cal again, and I thought that I was at the point in the process where all I need to do is pick a provider, and then which I would be picking Family Health, who my surgeon accepts. That all I had to do is pick a provider, and I would be good to go and start, a consultation appointment and all that stuff again. However, I was informed by the Medi-Cal worker that because I am still on my parents' insurance, Medi-Cal is now a secondary instead of a primary, and I'm not allowed to pick a provider through Medi-Cal until I'm off of my parents' insurance. So I immediately was like, well, okay, so I guess I will do that. So I called Anthem Blue Cross and inquired how I would go about doing that, how I would go about getting off of my parents' or being removed from my parents' insurance plan, even though technically I'm not supposed to. I wouldn't be able to. I don't age out from being under their insurance until I'm 26, which is in 2 years now. And so I called and was like, hey, I don't age out until, is there any way I can be taken off of this insurance before that? Like now. And they were kind of just like, no, not really, because unless there's some huge, the way that they kind of told it to me was unless there was a huge life event, such as I got a job that had my own insurance that I was covered under, that I was going to use, or unless I got married or some other, big life event, I wouldn't be taken off. Like, there's no way for me to get off their insurance until I'm 26. And I was informed by a friend that I might be able to remove myself at 24. There's a way to file for that, but I'm like, okay, I'll keep that in mind. But I decided I sort of dropped off trying to pursue the appeal that I did for Blue Cross, my current insurance, because it was just ridiculously difficult, and I was just having such a hard time with it. I was like, Medi-Cal will be easier, and I know they'll cover the whole thing. But since I got stopped there, I'm going back to the Blue Cross route, and so I called them again. I called Blue Cross and explained and I just kind of started all over at the beginning. I said, look, I told her all about how I got refused for the procedure. I told her that I filed for the appeal twice and sent it to 2 different addresses and never heard back. And I pulled up the letter that I typed up for the appeal and read her the code for the surgery I was going to get and told her every piece of information. And she gave me the information to go and look at the restrictions of my plan online, my specific plan, because the excuse that they were giving me was that this isn't covered under your plan specifically. So I was like, that sounds fake, because I know that California, legally under the Affordable Care Act, insurances have to cover transgender-related care. So the fact that this is the only that they're not covering this, the Los Angeles based in California insurance company is not covering this seems very strange to me and wrong. And so, but I went online and looked at the restrictions of my plan, and sure enough, even though this document that was looking at has been updated this year, January 2016, it still says transgender care is not covered, and it listed exactly surgery, hormones, anything that related to like transsexualism, which is a horrible term, but and like outdated. So also I was kind of looking at that like, I don't like this, and this seems incorrect. And I told that to the lady on the phone, and she was like, well, I don't know. So, she didn't know what was going on. But she did, I did ask her, is there anything you can do to help me, is there anything at all? And she said, well, you can email me a copy of the letter of the appeal, and I can forward it directly to the manager, to the people in charge of the Relief Association and the insurance plans, and whoever's like the head guy, or the head person. So I was like, okay, sure. So I did that, and I sent her the email, and if she does in fact do that, and send it to him, then I should hear back in a week. I'm not expecting to hear back in a week. I'm not expecting to hear back at all. But in a week later, I'm gonna, if I haven't heard anything yet, I'll call her again, and I have her email address and her name, so I can make sure to talk to the same person, and be like, hey, what's up? Did you email did you email it to the guy? So that is in progress right now. Also, I've decided that I've had the most success by going in physically to places and demanding and like physically telling people and showing them the paperwork, like I think something's up here. What can you, you have no safety of being over the phone. You have to tell me what's going on. So I decided that next Monday, which will be the 28th, 24th, whatever, I have the day off. So I'm literally just going to drive down to LA to the office for the Los Angeles Firemen's Relief Association, and walk in there and be like, please somebody tell me what's going on and why I'm not able to. And another thing I'm going to bring up while I'm in there, which I didn't say over the phone, which I didn't mention over the phone because I didn't think of it in the moment, was the limitations that I thought was interesting. The limitations claim that they don't cover hormones as part of transgender care, but however, my hormones are covered under my insurance. My hormones have been covered ever since I started them almost 3 years ago. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I'm kind of just over here like, so what is the truth? So I feel like if hormones, there's some kind of weird like loophole or something that's being like, something's up. And I'm going to find out what it is. So that's where I'm at now. And so kind of where I have to go for where I'm gonna pursue that. I haven't really given up on Medi-Cal completely, because if there is a way for me to remove myself from Blue Cross at 24, that will be at the end of July of this year. And it will be faster than waiting till the end of July in 2 years for me to be off my parents' insurance and use Medi-Cal to get this procedure done and completely covered. But if there's a way that I can get it, well, my goal, I just want to get it done as soon as possible by like whatever means I'm able to, and whichever ends up working out first, I will do. Like if I end up, being able to do it through Blue Cross and I have to pay a bit of a copay, it's not completely covered, then I will do that. Because honestly, Blue Cross is pretty great. And I've never really had any issues with it. It's good with my regular health care stuff. And, I've never had an issue with my hormones by using them, even though apparently they claim they don't cover hormones, but they are covering them currently. I don't know what's going on. I know that I know that there's some weird discriminatory thing going on with this, and that's what's what's causing me problems. I know it's not just some weird clerical error. So I'm gonna go into the office and ask around a little bit and maybe be a little bit forceful and put on my my commanding voice. I have one. I can be fucking serious if I need to. But I don't want to. I don't want to have to yell at anybody. I don't want to get angry. But I will if I need to, if necessary. So that'll be Monday, and in the meantime, I'm going to exercise, and I'm going to take deep breaths, and I'm going to just try really hard to be cool and rational about this. And I've just waited a really long time, and I've kind of been just getting turned around and screwed around, and I'm really sort of just tired of it. I was tired of it a long time ago, but it just gets worse every day. And I'm gonna figure out how to get this, I need to get this procedure done. I'm gonna figure out how to do it no matter what. I'm never gonna stop. But I would like to stop soon, and I'd like to just be able to get it done. And, so, yeah, that's where we're at now, folks. And I suppose after Monday, if anything comes out of going into the physical offices, I will certainly make a video about that. And if not, then I'll make a video when I hear back about the email from Susanna at healthscopebenefits.com. That's all for now. I'm so tired of all of this, and I hope that my next video will have a more optimistic tone than this one did. In the meantime, please enjoy me stammering and trying to think of a good way to end this video. Or I could just hit the button real fast.